Hello everyone, Callum here from KB Ants and welcome back to yet another video. In today's video I'm going to be reviewing and looking at the Wakooshi Mercury nest. I've seen a few videos, well mainly Rob J's video on this, and it just looked good, so I thought I'd spend my own money, buy it and see what I think of it. I had a few issues with it which I'll talk about later on in the video, and the things I say in this video, just bear in mind all my own opinions. I mean, you might think this nest is amazing, and that's fine. It's, you know, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I've had a few issues with it and I found a few problems with it. Not saying that the whole nest is not good at all. There is good things about it, but there's also a few things that I think either need improving or need changing, which we will talk about later on in the video. So let's get started. At the moment I'm just peeling off all the protective layers, and from what I know, this here is an improvement that Wakooshi have made. From what I'm aware, before you didn't get it's like a socket piece that you put the corner pieces in to make it easier to hold while you're screwing, which I think is obviously really good. I imagine, because I did try it without and it is a lot more difficult, so I think that does solve probably a problem that other people have, you know, realised, and Wakooshi has obviously improved that and provided you with like a socket piece for the connectors for each piece of acrylic, and that was a good thing that I found. It did make it a lot easier when I tried it without. Yeah, it's a lot more better. Corner pieces you want facing towards the centre of each acrylic piece. And then this is where the first problem arose. Putting it together, while I was screwing it, one of the pieces cracked, well, snapped off completely. I managed to put it back together with some resin, but while speaking to Wakooshi, he did agree to send me a new piece, which is obviously really nice of him. So yeah, that's the piece that I broke. I'm not 100% sure it was my fault completely, because I didn't put hardly any pressure on it at all and it snapped. So yeah, that's just one thing to keep in mind. Fast forward, I've had this Tapenoma sessile colony in it for a while. They do seem to be doing really well in it. They like it. I had a few escapees putting them in because one of the screws that you screw into the acrylic, it seemed like it was a different brand of screw or something. The Allen key that they provide with the kit didn't seem to fit in it very well, so I couldn't get it very tight at all, which obviously made a little gap the ants would escape through. So I'd literally just put a bit of blue tack in for the time being to stop them from escaping, until I think of another way of doing it. It'll probably have to be glue or something, but yeah, I've had a few issues with this, unfortunately. Also, over the past week, cracks have started to form where the screws are in the acrylic. They weren't there when I actually put the nest together and it was all complete. It was probably a couple of days afterwards and the cracks started to form. So to me, that doesn't say that it's pressure that's doing it. Obviously you'd think that it'd do it straight away if there's too much pressure. I made sure that they weren't too tight, and with the water tower as well, it's very loose. I'd like to have seen it to be a bit more stiff, because obviously it only needs to turn to the right and then you pull out, and then obviously that's out and it's a hole for the ants to escape. So yeah, any slight knock and it moves. It's not exactly hard to move it, which is not something that, you know, I'd like to see it a bit more rigid. Obviously not too difficult, just so it's not flapping about everywhere. Oh yeah, and that's sort of like my makeshift way of preventing the ants from escaping. So yeah, there's a few issues that I think probably could be resolved fairly easily. I don't think the acrylic is to the highest quality. I mean, I don't like being negative in my videos, but that's just my honest opinion. Obviously I had that piece break, then the cracks, so yeah, to me it just tells me that it's probably not the best quality of acrylic. it might just be a problem with a certain batch, and it could be a number of things that's causing it. Like I said, I made sure that I wasn't too tight when I was doing the screws on the top, because of obviously I had the piece break, and yet there's still cracks in there. So yeah, it's one of them. I have to be honest with all you guys, because I don't want you guys to. The idea of me doing these videos is to help everyone else out, to know what to expect. Other than saying all that though, the ants do seem to love it, which is obviously the main thing, is that they like it as a living space and that they can't escape. If that screw wasn't funny, obviously they wouldn't have been able to escape, but there's a few things that we just need to probably address. But yeah, I do like the nest. I had high hopes for it. Unfortunately, it's not turned out to be everything I hoped it would be. I probably wouldn't buy it again after all this. I might give it another chance, but it's highly unlikely. But yeah, if you enjoyed my video, please remember to like and subscribe, and I hope to see you again in the next one.